Greetings to you. I am Sister Rita X, student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, two great preachers of freedom, justice, and equality. To the black man and woman of America and the Western Hemisphere, and to the aboriginal people of the earth, the eternal leader of the nation of Islam, the exalted Christ, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the divinely guided reminder and mercy in our midst. The Jesus of the Bible and Muhammad of the Holy Quran. These two great men are also a warner to the government and people of the United States and a warner to the nation of the earth. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of our fathers. Assalamu alaikum. To those of you in the listening audience who is not familiar with these words, it simply means peace be upon you. Welcome, everyone. We're grateful you're here today. If this ministry is blessing you and helping you grow in your faith, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. That way you will know whenever we'll go live on YouTube with a message from God's Word. Juneteenth is a federal holiday in the United States. It is celebrated annually on June the 19th to commemorate the end of slavery. June 19, 1865, the day when Major General Gordon Granger ordered the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation in Texas at the end of the American Civil War. Slavery came to an end in various areas of the United States. Many enslaved Southerners escaped. Juneteenth marks June the 19th, 1865, when enslaved Texans learned they were free, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. So, our subject today is Juneteenth, the history of slavery. Black people were brought to America not to be equal, but to be burden bearers of the citizens of this country. When America was formed, the original definition for America has nothing to do with original people of the earth. Black man and woman, the Indians of the earth, this country, America, according to the definition of America, states no aboriginal people could be considered Americans. What happened to us, black man and woman, people of the world? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and the divinely guided reminder and mercy in our midst The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that the slave masters, white people, wanted to produce a people that was so below human standards that they could justify what they were about to do to us and with us. Our, our parents, black man and woman, was in a book called Brown America. So, a man in a book called Brown American by Embry, a white man in the Virginia House of Delegates said, and we quote, "We has closed every avenue by which light can enter the mind of a slave." I am going to say that again. Embry said, "We have closed every avenue by which light can enter the mind of a slave, thereby rendering him totally incapable of freeing himself." Black man and woman, people of the world, how do you close off every by which light can enter into a being mind? You deprive the human being of the knowledge of self. You lock him away from books. Don't allow anyone to teach him, and you beat fear into him. And then you can call him a Negro, a color person. You can hang him, sell him, do what you want to do to the black man and woman because you are a good Christian, a white Christian, and he is a heathen. What is a heathen, black man and woman, people of the world? A heathen is one who worships idols or does not have the knowledge of the true God, a pagan, an idolater, one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim. So, if you call you will say in your mind, what the hell kind of rights black people have that we white folks should have to respect as a human being? Black man and woman, people of the world, you don't know this, but there were a 64 years of hidden history that dehumanized black people. White people said we came here in 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia. They lied, black people, people of the world. Black people came in the year 1555, and it is written in your congressional library in Washington, D.C., that black people came to America in 1555 on a ship called Jesus by one Sir John Hawkins. 1555 to 1619 is 64 years. There was 64 history years that transformed you and me from a proud black man and woman of Africa. Look, we can sit down at the television and we hear Jewish people saying all the time, never again. Jewish people feel like they have the right and every right to tell their people and people of the world of what happened to them. So perhaps it will never happen again. Nobody tells those so-called Jewish people in Israel who tell their children that they are teaching their children to hate Germans. They not in a time warp. They know that what was is not necessarily what is, but they got to know what was to make sure there is a never is again. Then what about black people? If we go to our black brothers and sisters to remind them what happened to black people, why should we be charged with being a hate teacher? Why should the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the exalted Christ, and the divinely guided reminder and mercy in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, be charged with being a hate teacher? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Sister Rita X want our people to know what was so they can locate what is and to prepare for what is yet to come. We're not wrong for telling our people that, people of the world. In the church, there is an old hymn our parents used to sing, and it is called Couldn't Hear Nobody Pray. You may not know this, black people, people of the world, that among early slaves, many of them were Muslim, as the Prophet Muhammad of 1400 years ago made the peace and blessing of Allah be unto him. And Islam spread across West Africa. Many of our parents became Muslim. And our civilization, at the root of it, was Islam. Islam means one who submit their will to do the will of God. So our parents, black man and woman, people of the world, was Muslim. They submitted their will to do the will of God. And Islam spread across West Africa. Many of our parents became Muslim, and our civilization, at the root of it, was Islam. When Islam got to America, since we black people fought from the 7th to the 11th century, and Islam conquered the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, and Portugal. Black man and woman, Islam conquered southern France. Islam went all the way up to the gates of Vienna. Most of the Europeans knew that the blacks were the soldiers of Islam called Moors. That black people, the black black man civilization, Islamic black man and woman, you can still see traces, and you can still see the traces of the heritage of the conquered in the bloodline of the people. Race mixing were going on in the 7th and the 11th century. We are to say this, that George Washington, who were a Mason, and the people before George Washington did not want any Muslim among the slaves. Black men and women, people of the world, there's something about Islam that brings out the militant discipline, the warlike attitude against the rising tides of color, against white world supremacy. Islam brings out the black man and woman militant nature. And in the conquest of Europe, so the Muslim will cry out, the parents separated from their children. The parents would be crying out, saying, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, to see if the children of theirs will pick up some words of their mother tongue, of the language of the Holy Quran. And whenever our parents, black man and woman, people of the world, recited a word, the slave masters will kill that child. So, as our parents used to sing this song, I couldn't hear nobody pray, because if prayer will put the language into you, if prayer will put into you the knowledge of your God, rather than see her child dead, the mother will stop praying in her mother's tongue, stop calling. So we as black people did not grow up with our mother tongue. Then what is your mother tongue, black people? Your mother tongue is Arabic. What is your name? We got the names of our slave master. We got the names of white people, just like white people named Africa, Africa, after a white man named Africana. White people named Australia. White people named Europe. White people named this America. They named South America. They named you, black man and woman. Now what is your name? Johnson, Smith, O'Reilly, Culpepper, Underhill, Wright, William, Jackson, Green, Lincoln. These are not your name. Black people, if white people can come here with a Greek name, with an Italian name, with a Jewish name, and their names are respected, why shouldn't you and I, as a free black man and woman, and a free black man and woman, go in the name of our own people? Why should we be doing our work under the names of the slave masters and his children, who gave the slave their last names? So you will know whose slaves you were. and what plantation you belong on. Black people don't even know that they don't know their own names. That's how pitiful the condition is. Black people don't even know that they can't speak our own mother tongue. Black people have no knowledge of their language, no knowledge of their own God. What black people are is what the white slave masters taught them. And since the white slave master hated us black people, he made us hate ourselves. So, as we continue today, I want to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. Our goals is to share hope, encouragement, and the love of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to as many people as possible. So please also go to my radio show on trumpetxradio.com, Monday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And those of you on the East Coast, that is 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time. And to everyone watching around the world, I invite you to join me live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time on my YouTube channel. So, now let's go on. Black man and woman, our people have no knowledge of their own God, no knowledge of their own history. So, whatever black people are is what the white slave masters taught them. And since the white slave masters hated us, black man and woman, he made us hate ourselves. So here we as black people growing up in a white society, the values are white. Everything is white. The culture is white. The standard is white. Jesus is white. Jesus' mother, Mary, is white. God is white. So when you see white people, you think you looking at the people of God. You say, white people, color don't make a difference. Evidently, color made a difference. You made Jesus white and his mother white. God is white. And you know Jesus was not a white man. You know that, the slave master and your children. Jesus was not a white man. Black man and woman, you're not white. So, to sell human beings, do you know how that feels? People of the world, black people were sold not for one day, not for 1 year, but my people, black people, was sold like animals for 300 years. We, as blacks, were not allowed to marry. People of the world, do you know black man and woman of the world was sold like animals? We as black people were not allowed to grow up normally, to have the basis institution of civilization called family. What is family? A black man was nurtured like a stud horse. Do you know that black people have been at the core of the greatest progress that this nation have made? That's what makes black people hurt so much, people of the world, because while we were slaves, not allowed to read, not allowed to write, and if some of you, the slave master's children, will try to teach some black people out of compassion for them, your own white people might beat you or hurt you. So, in 1790, the white slave masters didn't think that it was incompatible for us black people to be Christians and slaves at the same time. So, white people brought black people. Now, all of this time, white people, the white slave masters had religion. That is why our parents, black man and woman, people of the world, used to have this saying: everybody talking about heaven ain't going there to heaven. White people good about talking about when we get to heaven, we are going to meet with Jesus. Then hang a black man, shoot him in the back of the head, mistreat black people. How are you going to heaven, white people, and you can't do justice by another member of the human race? Because as long as you think, white folks, the neocons, that you got what you got because you are better, because you are white, we're telling you white people that sick minds makes you think that you are privileged. Therefore, the law of God does not relate to you. You are above the law. So when it comes to black people, you can treat them any way you want, because black people are, in your mind, not really human. So if you white people shoot a black man or black woman down on the street corner, you just say to the judge, he lunged at me, and it's always justifiable homicide. Or white people will say, Judge, we put him in a cell and he just fell down and he died. And the judge looked back at the police officer, the prosecutor, and the judge said, probably so, and hit the desk and say, justify homicide. The judges don't see right. The judges see white. When you got that kind of society, you build hatred. You build animosity. Listen well, people of the world. White people, black people are sick and tired of this kind of foolishness in the name of justice and decency, in the name of democracy and good human relation. So to move you black man and woman down the road to your goal. In the publication, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 1, the Nation of Islam Historical Research Department unearthed the following facts from an unpublished doctoral dissertation of Dr. Harold Blackman, written in 1977. It was a certain Talmudic rabbi who invented the curse of Ham myth about the origin of black people. I'm going to say this again. Black man and woman, people of the world. It was a certain Talmudic rabbi who invented the curse of Ham myth about the origin of black people, that through the eyes of these pseudo-intellectual anthropologists, the Old Testament teaches that black people are called the Hamanite people, as though we waited around until Ham to come into existence. This curse of Ham, developed by scholars and imposed on scripture, use your love of God and your love of religion as a tool to defeat black people. Surely if we are a child of Ham who laughed at his father's nakedness and drunkenness and was cursed, and the Hamanite curse is that we will be doomed by our blackness to be hewers of wood and drawers of waters for other brothers, then that means that black people should have a servant attitude and mentality. See, if you are in that 10%, we can understand that you must be terrified that somebody knows the truth. But to the masses of you, the 85%, you should rejoice that somebody knows something to free your mind. How can they know the scripture except they have a preacher and a teacher? And how can they have a teacher except he be sent? Some people that put you in this condition, the 10%, are not going to send you a preacher or a teacher to free you from their grip. That is why nobody from America educational institution has been able to free the masses. You would think with all other degrees that you give out each year, you would be giving something out that the masses could go free with this fine education. We suggest that something is wrong with an educational system that does not allow you to become a thinker, analyze, and create, but suppress your creativity and shapes and molds to books from scholars and absolute. Also, who will not allow, and they were number one, South Carolina. South Carolina, especially the port of Charleston was one of the largest slave importing ports in North America. Number 2, Georgia, including Savannah. Number 3, Virginia, including Norfolk and nearby ports. Number 4, Maryland, particularly Annapolis and Baltimore. Number 5, Louisiana, especially New Orleans, which became a major slave trading center. Number 6, Texas received enslaved people both before and after joining the United States, though on a smaller scale than some Atlanta ports. Number 7, Florida received enslaved Africans under both Spanish and later United States rule. Some enslaved Africans also arrived through ports in North Carolina, New York, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Historically, the largest direct importing ports in what became the United States were concentrated in the South, particularly Charleston, and later New Orleans. After Congress banned the importation of enslaved people in 1808, the domestic slave trade within the United States continues for decades, moving many enslaved people from the upper South to the deep South during the transatlantic slave trade. 393 million acres. Here are the states with the most agricultural land. 17% of the total United States land area, 2.27 billion acres, about 25% of the 1.6 billion acres from the earlier 40 million people times 40 acres calculation. Among these coastal slave trades, the leaders are: number 1, Texas, by far the largest, with over 100 million acres of farmland. Here are the states with the most agricultural land. If you add 17% of the total United States land area, 2.27 billion acres, is about 25% of the 1.6 billion acres from the 40 million people times 40 acre calculation. These coastal slave trade states are, as I said, number 1, Texas, number 2, Georgia, number 3, Florida, number 4, North Carolina, number 5, Virginia, and number 6, Louisiana. Here, an overview of the coastal states most associated with the historical landing and trade of enslaved Africans, along with their agricultural land, major parts, and total land area. As I said, Texas, it got a total area of land of 172 million acres, of which 127 million agricultural land. The port in which they looked inside the shipping holds was of Houston of Corpus Christi. That's about 17%. So Florida got 35 million land area, and the agricultural land of what we say producing land is 9 to 10 million acres. And their port was the port of Miami and the port of the Everglades. Georgia got 37 million land area of agriculture and 10 million acres of producing land, and their port was the port of Savannah. South Carolina, with approximately 20 land area million acres of agricultural land and 5 million of producing agricultural land was in South Carolina, and the port of their distribution is Charleston. North Carolina, 31 million approximately agricultural land of acres and 9 to 10 million acres of agricultural land is producing land. And what we mean by that is water access, the port of Wilmington, an overview of the coastal state most associated with the historical landing and trade of enslaved Africans, along with their agricultural land. Their major port and total land area is Virginia, Maryland, Louisiana, New York, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. Black man and woman, people of the world, we are giving you history, the making of a slave history, and how they transported us into these coastal areas, and what they had in these coastal areas that they needed black bodies for, and how they imported us on these coastal shores. And look, when we say 18 states belongs to the black man and woman of 1.6 billion land area, that is approximately 70%. Listen well, that is approximately 70% of the United States land, which only leaves them 30%. Look, let's name these 18 states that belongs to the black man and woman. If you add up 40 acres and a mule to 40 million black people, that equals to 1.6 billion acres of land. 70% of the United States, and it equals to 18 states. So, Alaska, and what is on these land? Black man and woman, people of the world, see, that teaches you that you got to die to go to heaven. You got to die to get what they mining right here. Bodies. Now, let's look at this. Alaska got 365 million total acreage of land. And what's on that land? Gold, zinc, copper, lead, rare minerals. And their outlet to the sea is the Pacific coast and Antarctica, including the port of Anchorage. So when we say, America, you owe the black man and woman, you owe us 18 states, and we want these states with an outlet to the sea. Let's see who got these outlets, and let's see what's in these states and what kind of minerals are on these states. So we already indicated Alaska. Alaska got gold, zinc, copper, lead, rare minerals. Number 2, California. California got boron, rare earth deposit, gold, construction mineral, and they got the Pacific port, including Los Angeles and the port of Long Beach. Texas got 172 million total area acreage. And what's on the land in Texas? They got oil, they got natural gas, they got industrial minerals, they got salt, and they got the Gulf or coast port, including the port of Houston. And Michigan got the iron ore, they got copper, they got nickel, and the Michigan got the Great Lakes shipping by the St. Louis Seaway. That's the outlet to the sea. California, we want minerally rich land, America. We want 18 states. When we quoted before, 12 states with an outlet to the sea, that was too low. We did our calculation, and it turns out they owe you, black man and woman, 18 states. Because if you add, get your calculators out, if you add 40 million black people times 40 million acres, you would get 1.6 billion. You divide 1.6 billion into 40 million, that is 18 states. So, Michigan, once again, got iron ore, they got copper, they got nickel, they got the Great Lakes shipping by the St. Lawrence Seaway. So, Minnesota got iron ore, they got copper, they got nickel, but yet they tell you, black man and woman, you got to die. You got to go to heaven, and hopefully you can walk the streets of gold. Isn't that the lie they told you and I? That you won't look right here on earth to see that white folks is getting their heaven right here on earth. But you got to die to go get yours. But they got theirs right here in the United States with iron, ore, copper, nickel, gold, rare minerals. Come on, let's go on. So here we are looking at how America took these domestic land, the areas that you and I, black man and woman, thought was no value to us, that we had to die to go get these land, but yet America was minding and shipping black bodies to mine and take care of these areas. Nevada got gold, silver, lithium. Lithium is a soft, severely high reactive element that is used as a heat transfer medium in thermonuclear weapons and in batteries. Alaska got gold, got zinc, got copper. Zinc is a bloodish white, lustrous, metallic element, and it is used to form a wide variety of alloys, including brass and bronze. Copper is used as the best conductor of heat and electricity. It is a common metal of a reddish color. It is one of the most useful metal in itself. And a penny is of copper, and other minor coins of copper. Arizona got copper and molybdenum. Molybdenum is a hard, silvery, white metallic element. And what is it used for? It is used to toughen steel and in corrosion resistant. It is used in fertilizer, dye, enamels. Utah got copper, gold, uranium. Now we're going down the list of these 18 states that we want America, that you owe the black man and woman. We telling you, black man, and especially black young people, listen up. You that's on TikTok, you that's on YouTube, just scrolling down the page. Do you realize how valuable you are? Do you know that our ancestors pray for your generation? Do you realize, young people, that your ancestors 400 years ago was praying and they soul crying out for this day? For you, young black people, do you realize that you are the greatest generation that we of black people have ever produced? Why is that? Because you are fearless. You are not afraid. You are the generation of promise. You are that generation that's going to make the government of America give us reparation. You young people are that generation that's going to get us 18 states with an outlet to the sea. That's how important you are. You are that generation that is born. You are born to save your people. You are born to get justice for your people. It will not pass to another generation. You are that generation that was promised that you will get the promise of your ancestors. Because this is why the government fears your generation. This is why the government wants to lock your young people generation up. This is why they want you on TikTok. They want you, black woman, out there trying to pay for boobs and butt because you think butt is beauty. They want you in foolishness. They want you watching sport and play because this world is built on sport and play. Look, our teachers have to moonlight. They are not paid millions of dollars as the basketball players, the football players, the play sports. They give them millions of dollars because they wanted to divert your mind, divert your attention, that you will not pay attention. So right now, young people, scroll down the line, go to TikTok, go to YouTube, go on Twitter, tweet your friends and your family, hit the subscribe button, tune in, because every Sunday, 7 p.m., we are going live Pacific time. For you on the Eastern Coast, 10 p.m. your time. People around the world, we welcome you. Subscribe, tune in, enlighten your friends and your family. That knowledge is being taught today from a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on history, the making of history, the making and of slaves, and who and what the 18 states that belongs to us, and that our young people, oh, you're going to get our states. You're going to fulfill the promise. You know something was wrong. You felt your ancestors. That's why you wasn't interested in the government of America affairs. You knew something you had to do. This is your job, young people. Get our 18 states. Fulfill your ancestors' prophecy. Fulfill their crying from the graves. Fulfill the answer, the promise that you are born to do. So let's go on. Utah. Utah got copper, got gold, got uranium. Uranium is a dense silver white metallic element and is the most abundant in nature. It is extracted and processed for use in research, nuclear fuel, and nuclear weapon. Number 5, Montana. Montana got copper, palladium, platinum. Palladium is unique in its power of absorbing hydrogen. It is used for graduated and in alloys for making electrical contact and jewelry. Platinum does not oxidize in air and is used as catalyst and in electrical components, jewelry, dentistry, and electroplating. Number 6, Wyoming. Wyoming have coal, uranium, tronium. Tronium is used as a source of sodium compounds, a native double salt consisting of a combination of neutral and acid sodium. Number 7, New Mexico. New Mexico got potash, copper, uranium, potash containing potassium, the impure potassium carbonated obtained by lurching wood ashes, either as a strong solution. Number 8, Colorado. Colorado got molybdenum, gold, silver. Molybdenum is used to toughen steel and in corrosion resistant. Now look, black man and woman, did you know on these 18 states that America did all that they could? The slave masters did all that they could to keep us ignorant that these 18 states have this much value: gold, copper, silver, uranium. Oh, Mary. They got all these wonderful gems. Now, number 9 is Minnesota. Minnesota got iron ore, nickel, copper. Ore is a mineral deposit from which iron can be viably extracted. So, to number 10, Michigan. Michigan got nickel, hard, silvery white transition metals for its strength, high melting points, and extreme resistant to corrosion and heat. It makes stainless steel. It rechargeable batteries. It aerospace component. Number 11, California. California got boron, a naturally occurring dark, lustrous metallic and a vital trace mineral, essential for healthy plant cell walls. It plays a key role in bone hormones regulation and brain function. Did you know? Also got rare earth. Rare earth elements is a group of chemically similar metallic metals and is relatively abundant in the earth crust. It's unique fluorescent conductors and magnetic property when mixed in small quantity with more common metals may create incredibly durable and high performing material. Now, we just going through some of these minerals that all these 18 states that we want. Oh, yes. With an outlet to the sea. Yes, we do. Texas. Texas got oil. They got natural gas. They got industrious minerals. Natural gas is used to heat homes, cook food, generate electricity. Industrious mineral is used for application in construction, manufacturing, and other sectors. So, we just went to 12 states. Oh, yes, black man and woman, wake up. This is your day. This is your time. Mother, wake your young people up because they are the generation of the promise. You and I been fighting the slave masters, and we thought that they were our friends, but they have not changed. What has changed that you got old and you died, and they still haven't changed. So now to our babies are the babies of the promise. They are the babies of the future. Our babies today, they are not afraid. They're not afraid of nothing. God born